Welcome back. The Connecticut woman accused of allegedly holding her stepson captive for years is back in the spotlight this morning as we look ahead to her court appearance this afternoon. Kimberly Sullivan is charged with assault, kidnapping, unlawful restraint, cruelty to persons, and reckless endangerment. She's pled not guilty. Her 32-year-old stepson, known as S, weighed 68 pounds when he was rescued from her house in February. This is after, reportedly, he set the house on fire so he could be saved. Here's Sullivan on body cam at the scene of the fire.
Who's in the house? Who else is in here?
My stepson is in here.
How many other people? Listen,
That's it. I have 2 cats.
Everybody's out?
Yes.
But your stepson's still inside?
Yeah, he's right here.
Okay,
yes.
come out. Come down the road. Come on, come on.
There's some Donna Adelson vibes there. The defense plans to bring up 3 motions at today's 2 o'clock hearing, and it's hard to get your head around this one. She wants to go home, retrieve some belongings, get her GPS bracelet off, and then, this is the kicker, she wants to know the address of where her accuser, the stepson, lives. And they're going to ask a judge about that. Still with us this morning, Marlo Greer, Mackenzie Joy Brennan, and David Bruno is still with us. Nope, David's not here. So it's us 3. We got to tackle this together. All right, Marlo, let's start with this last ask. Why would you ask this? What's the behind this question? I want to know where he lives so I can send him a letter, apologize.
At this point, I mean, I feel like I could lose 68 pounds, right? This is insane. I don't know why they would do this. And especially all at the same time. I mean, let's talk about strategery. I mean, it doesn't make any sense. If you want to get your GPS bracelet off, yes, make that motion. And then let's say 2 months from now, come up with some valid argument that you need this address. The judge is going to have a 2-month memory, but at least it's not all at the same time because it's so incredibly suspect at this point.
Yeah, as we are told, is doing well. He had lived quite the life, Mackenzie, and if any of this is true, she's a monster.
Yeah.
68 pounds.
My goodness. I think one of the arguments that her defense team made in one of these motions, and I agree, that pairing them all together, it really begs a question, even if she doesn't have ill motives at this point, why do you want the bracelet off and his location at the same time? It's very concerning, but the defense said that making this a case where his address was sealed makes it look like a severe domestic violence case, and there's no precedent for that in Connecticut law. Now, my response to that, and I think a lot of people's, would be, yeah, there's no precedent for what this woman has done. That doesn't mean that it doesn't meet the grounds of severe domestic violence.
Absolutely. Here's a statement from S. He says, "Please call me S. This is not the name given to me by my parents when I was born. I will use that name as I reclaim control over my life and my future. I am the survivor of more than 20 years of captivity and domestic abuse. I was held prisoner in my home from the time I was taken out of the 4th grade at age 11 until 2 months ago." This is a while ago. This sentence was this was given at age 31 when I purposely set fire to help set me free. Now, this case hasn't gone to trial yet. There's another side to this story, and that will come out. But again, I want to know where he's living, and I want this ankle brace. To me, that's off. That means I want to go over there and reclaim control over this person. Possibly any judge in their right mind would say a hard no. In fact, after that, I'd be like, you know what? I'm going to reconsider the bail here. Because she's calling her attorney and saying, I got to get this ankle bracelet off, and I got to find out where he lives.
I don't see what her attorneys are thinking, that this was a good idea to file all of this. And I think it also reflects on her mental state. What is going on in your mind that you still believe that this is okay? That you still believe that your stepson may even want to speak with you? There has to be some severe mental health issues going on here.
Absolutely. And this is out of a Stephen King novel in terms of if it's true, and these are all allegations, but he set fire to the house so that someone could come and get him. One would argue, well, he's 31 years old, and this is a woman who is leaving the house and coming back. How could he have not just gotten out? How could he have not gotten himself out? Why go to such an extreme? However, if what he's saying is true, it is very disturbing. So there could be mental illness on both sides here.
If you weigh 68 pounds, I think it's hard to do anything of your own volition if you're that weak and if you're in this coercive control environment since potentially age 11. And it's really hard for me to picture any reasonable explanation for this that she will be able to present. But it does show, you know, the tough game that attorneys play when your client is maybe not of sound mind and potentially pushing for motions like this. Where do you draw the line?
Is this a case that goes to trial, or do you think there's a deal in the works?
I think this case will go to trial. It just doesn't seem to me like there's client control here. That's really what we call that when, if an attorney objectively is looking at this and you have filed something, is there client control? Is this something that she was pushing for? And so they acquiesced. If that is the case right now, I can't imagine that there's going to be any plea agreement that this woman is going to accept. I don't think she understands the gravity of her actions. Of course, we always use the word allegedly, but none of this that's going on right now tells me that we're going to see something reasonable down the line.
What do you do, Mackenzie, with a client that wants something and you know this is a bad idea and you try to not go over the cliff?
Yeah, I think that there's some interesting psychological play that has to happen here. And obviously we have seen cases where somebody starts out very staunchly, I will not plead out, I am not guilty, I won't have this on my name. But as time goes on, as bills pile up, as bad press accrues, I think that it is possible that somebody does at least understand that there's some public backlash at the very least. Even
it's the downside of bail, though, because you could do a little time in the county jail. Right. You're like, okay, I could do another 5 years, but I don't want 25, 30, 40. She's out on bail.
I really think the problem here is that you're using your rational mind. And I don't believe there are rational minds here, at least not when we're talking about her. Perhaps her attorneys have rational minds, and I assume they do. We are very rational, logical people, but that's the thing, is that you're looking at this in a way that a rational human being would look at it. I do not believe that this woman is a rational human being. She doesn't understand. So what you would think and what we would think would happen is just not what's going through her head.
Yeah. She's in court this afternoon in the state of Connecticut. Marla Green, Mackenzie Joy Brennan, thank you. You guys will be around.